Now I'm going to take you on a walkthrough for what your job is in your math journal for pages 300 and 301. So if you don't have your math journal out, why don't you go ahead and get it out right now so you can follow along with me, okay? So let's start with the step in. As usual, you don't have to write anything down, just follow along with me. Doing the step in with me is going to help you for the rest of the journal work. So look at the scoreboard. So we see the scoreboard has two scores. Home has 126 points, visitors has 80. Do you think the home team won by greater or fewer than 50 points? How do you know? Greater or fewer than 50 points. I'm going to pause the video, or you can pause the video, and I'm going to pause and use that estimating brain of yours and tell me what you think. Okay? So take a couple seconds to estimate. Do you think that home won by more than 50 points or less than 50 points? Okay, you ready? I didn't give you much time because when we estimate, we want it to be in a snap. These are quick decisions. So I want to tell you what I did in my head. Okay, you might not have done the same thing, and that's okay. But what I did was I broke this up into total part. And I know that one of the parts will have to be the visitor's score, which is 80. And so then the question was, do you think they won by greater or fewer than 50 points? So in my head, I just plugged in the other part as 50. Okay, and I know in a snap, 80 and 50 are two very friendly numbers, and 80 and 50 would make the total 130, right? Because 8 plus 5, we know in a snap, is 13, and then we have our zeros. Okay, so that's how I did it in my head. And then that would make the total 130. But if we look at what the actual home total is, it's 126. So, could it be greater than 50? No, it will have to be less than 50 because the total that the home scored is less than 130. Okay, but let's see how Marvin uses it. So, Marvin is trying to figure out the exact difference. Okay, so first he shows 126. So, these blocks right here represent the number 126. Then he regroups 100 as tens. He takes out this 100 and then brings 10 tens blocks. Okay? He takes 8 tens to find the difference in scores. Why did he take 8 tens again? Because that's the visitor's score, right? 8 tens is 80. So then he crossed out 80. Let's see how many's left over. Ready? Count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So the difference would be 46. Why do you think he regrouped 100s blocks as tens blocks? Why do you think? Let's see. We still had to take away 8 tens. Can you take away 8 tens from this picture? Not really, right? That would be hard. We can't. We only have 2 to work with. Okay? How many points did the team win by? 46. All right. So, now is the part where you're going to have to get your pencil out and do these problems. So let's start with the step up. So number 1, in each picture, a hundreds block was regrouped as 10 tens blocks. Cross out the blocks and complete the equations. The biggest thing you have to remember here is that when they regrouped this 100 as 10 tens, they did not forget this one. Okay? This one is still here. So that's really important to remember when you go off and do it on your own for number 2. So this one should be pretty simple for us. They did all the hard work. Now all that we have to do left is cross out the 30. Okay, so cross out how many groups of 10? 3. And then here's your answer. Okay, same thing for B. But over here for number 2, draw pictures to show how to regroup. Then complete the equations. So over here, they did give you the starting total, which is 115, but it's your job to make the picture with regrouping this hundreds box into tens. So I'm going to do this one with you. So we're going to take away that 100 and add 10 tens box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, am I ready to take away my 30? Here I go. No, I can't take away my 30 yet. Pause the video and try and figure out what I'm missing. What am I forgetting before I can start to take away my 30? I'm forgetting the tens and ones blocks that were already there, the 15. Okay, so now I need to add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, I still have 115. Let's go back and check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115. And now you can cross out your 30, okay? All right, let's go down to number 3. Complete each equation. You can use blocks or make notes on page 318 to help. Okay, 318 is just a blank sheet of paper where you can draw your blocks if you want. These are not any harder than the ones we were doing before. Okay, it's the same thing. They just didn't give you a place to draw your blocks. If you want to give yourself a challenge and do it in your head, you can try. Okay, absolutely. And the step ahead. 2 teams are playing a game of basketball. The blue team scores 36 more points than the red team. 36 more. So that was the blue team. The blue team scores 110 points. How many points did the red team score? Show your thinking. So let's think about what we know when we do word problems. What are they asking? And what do we know? Okay, so total part. They're asking us how many points the red team scored. Do we know how many points the blue team scored? Yes, the blue team scored 110 points. And we know, because the problem told us, that that's 36 more points than the red team, so that's going to turn into one of our parts. And now it's your job to come up with an equation to match to find this missing part. Okay, good luck.